Hi there, this is Sheena Rowlands and today I'm sharing with you a process video for Hey Little Magpie featuring the Pinkfresh Studio Happy Blooms. As you can see, I've already been working with this wonderful range and today I'm going to share with you a layout featuring the garden paper there, the lilac-y one, as the background. I've used it before, I've cut some bits and pieces out of it, but I wanted to use it as a background, so I left the outer edge intact. So I've got a couple of photographs there that were taken whilst visiting a lavender farm here in the UK, and I thought they would be absolutely perfect to go with this range. So I went through the ephemera and the die cuts and I picked out any tags that were in shades of the lilac, and I decided that I was going to team that with some yellow. So this is just cardstock that I've torn down one edge. It's about 9 by 11.5 now. And I'm just dry brushing this yellow paint, just acrylic paint, down the centre of the white cardstock. I'm just going to keep messing with it. I like the way that it looks, the texture that it's bringing. Come in with a smaller brush just to try and fill some of the gaps. Like all mixed media, I don't want to, once I put my photos and the tags on top, I don't want it all to be covered. So I keep expanding it a little bit, hoping that it will still show once the layout all goes together. I really like this technique. It's only something I've started doing recently, dry brushing with acrylic paint. So once that was dry, I took it to the sewing machine and I sewed around 3 sides of the cardstock with some purple thread, just leaving the torn edge as it is. So now I actually want to start to put the layout together, so I'm using the tags, and then I decided that I'd like to cut some more. So I go through the 6x6 paper pad and what I have left, and I start to dig out any purples, lilacs, yellows that I can add in and cut some tags to add to this like column that I'm developing down the centre. That way that they're all going to be the same sort of size, so hopefully it's going to look pleasing. I really like bringing the yellows in as tags actually. I think that really is a great contrast to the lilacs in this range. So I just keep choosing and moving things around. I will bring in my crocodile, I think, and punch the holes. So I'm just getting the final order ready, really. It's one of the things that I like the most, moving things around, getting it the way I like it. I decide that the second photo needs a big tag to sit on too, so using more paper from the 6x6 pad, and using the first tag as a stencil, I make another one for the second photograph. Yeah, that seems better now that they're both on similar size tags. So I'm going to have a look through it. These are the puffy frames. Obviously there's words on here as well, and the hello and smile are perfect colours for this page, so I'm going to try and include those either side of the photographs. As you might have noticed, I cut them out with the background still intact. I like to do that so I can move things around on the page without them getting stuck accidentally. Now I'm bringing in some strips, which is part of the Happy Place pattern paper, and again I'm looking for ones that are either yellow or lilac preferably, that I can add to the tags as it works down my photograph. There's so many to choose from and I wanted to read them all just to see if they fitted with the theme that I was going for and the memories that I have from the day that these photos were taken. So they've got lots of uses. They're perfect to use as ephemera. I also brought in the 6x6 version of the same paper. That way I could have the same phrases smaller. So I think that I could actually vary the size as I work down the page. So I also dug out this puffy stickers. There's a few words on there as well that I thought might be nice to add around one of the photographs. I always like to review all the embellishments that I have for a range to see if there's anything that would go. So I think I'm looking at some of the stickers as well that might work their way down. But I'm looking at placing 2 or 3 things on each of the tags down the column just to add some like variety and not to overwhelm it too much. I know I'm picking out loads, but I will actually make a final cull, I think. So the next thing is I bring a punch in and I will add some little circles to the tags just for a little bit of contrast. I think that works really rather well. So I wanted to make some tassels, and I find that I always make my own. so I thought I would show you how I do it. So I have a piece of just chipboard there, and I've cut a slot in it that you can see about 1 centimetre wide, and I've made 2 nicks at the top. In the top I've added a piece of embroidery thread that's just a short length. So I'm going to wrap this embroidery cotton in the yellow around approximately 10 times. Then I need to take another piece. I'm going to feed either side of that through the gap that I made, and this is going to kind of like make the head of the tassel. So the bit that I'd put in the nicks at the top, I put into a knot as well, and I slide it all off. So the piece of cotton that was in the nicks, that's the bit that's going to attach it to the layout. The piece that I put through the slot, that's going to create the head, and I'm going to trim that when I trim the tails of the tassel. I hope that made sense. I'm going to make another one to show you. I actually make 3 in total for this page in contrasting colours, in the purple, the yellow and a white, to hang from the tags. So once trimmed, I'm going to move on to another colour. So I cut a piece to put across the top in the notches. That's how it's going to hang eventually. I get the thread again, and I'm going to wrap it round the card approximately 10 times, leaving a gap either side in the slot that I'll be able to put my fingers through. And now cut another piece to create the head. I'm going to use the slot, put that through to tie in a knot there. So slide it all off the card once I've tied it at the top, and there I've slid it off. Very simple to make at home. So I make sure the knot at the top is secure. Then I come down and I look at the bit that's tying the head, make sure that's tight, tie it in a knot, straighten those threads to make part of the actual tassel, then trim, because obviously they're loops at the moment, so I trim them then to the length that I want. If you want longer tassels, you make your piece of chipboard wider. If you want shorter, you just trim them at the end. So I'm now bringing in the 3 tassels that I've made. I'm going to hang them on contrasting tags so that I can actually attach them. So I'm just getting them in position. I'm just not sure quite where I want this white one. I'm just trimming it, making it a little bit shorter than the other 2, and I'm just deciding where it's going to go. Obviously they're very simple to make, very cost effective, just using some embroidery thread. So if for some reason they're not what you want, then find another colour, make a different size. It's no big deal really, but I really do enjoy making them and adding them to my pages. So I'm just going to twist them into the holes in the tags. This takes me a bit of time before I get them the way that I wanted them to hang. I'm sure it won't take you as long as it takes me. I didn't want the ends to show. I wanted them to be tucked in behind the tags, but I also wanted quite a bit of the cotton to show on the front, so I'm wrapping it round and round the top of the tag before I can secure it in position. So this is taking me a bit of time, unfortunately. The chipboard that I used to actually make the tag, I just using a bit of scrap from the back of a paper pad, and I will actually make a new one each time I make tassels usually, because they do bend a little. So this is me just showing you the finished layout, and then off camera I add a few sequins. So here's the full image for you to enjoy, and some close-ups too. Thank you so much for watching this video. If you like what you see, give me a thumbs up or subscribe to my channel. I'd much appreciate it. I received these supplies from Hey Little Magpie, and I would recommend that you check out their UK online scrap store. Bye for now.